Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Hope you all join so we can start our class.
Yes, sir.
Please put your attendance in the command window and please listen to the class. We have already discussed the fourth module of the subject disaster management, and now we are going to discuss the fifth module. And the first part deals with common disasters types in India. Whenever we are giving importance for disaster risk and disaster the risk reduction, disaster risk management. In all cases, we are trying to reduce the impact or mitigate the impact of disaster. So here we are going to discuss some important disaster types in India. There are around 31 disasters as per our record. In India, there are 31 types of disasters. It's a very important thing. There are 31 types of disaster in India according to High Power Committee report. And the last disaster added to this is tsunami, which is in 2005. And we will discuss various disasters. They may be classified into various categories that include water and climate related disaster, and then uh, mud overflow like our land issues, then accidental issues, then biological issues, disasters. Everything is classified in different categories. Total altogether, we will get 31 disasters as recorded in India. And first of all, we will discuss the first category that is water and climate related disaster. Please note down all these points. There are 11 points. That is, first one is flood and drainage management. When we are discussing a disaster, the first category is flood and drainage management. In Kerala itself, we have faced a lot of problem with these two issues, that is flood. In the last year, we have been suffered a lot due to flood, and our drainage system are not also much efficient. So we are struggling water overflow in our cities. Even a rainfall occurs. Probably in the month of August and July, August, and September, we are facing flood-related issues in all over Kerala. Even in Kannur, we have faced the same issue in Mile and that area. And second one is cyclone. In India, every year we have been facing cyclones, effects of cyclones. In the coastal areas of Orissa, Andhra, and Tamil Nadu, we are having a lot of cyclones every year. Due to high wind and low pressure, the water flow will be in a cyclone form and that will attack to our nature. That you can see that a figure of cyclone attack and that's happening every year, probably 3 or 4 times in a year in India. And we have also facing some tornadoes and hurricanes. But the effects of these are not much in India because our climate is not like that. But in northern countries like America and all other places, the effect of tornadoes and hurricanes are very important. It's due to the wind over speed. That is, speed of the wind will be very high, and the center eye point of tornado pressure will be very low. So the wind will be trying to rotate on a point at the center, and after having a definite mass, the tornado and hurricanes will move from one place to another. During the flow, it will suck all the parts, all the equipment, all the vehicles, all the buildings very near to that tornado or hurricane. It's a very important disaster, and we have facing this one in a little less manner. And we comes hailstorms. It's very common in Kerala also. If we are going to Wayanad or Kannur, nearer to our college places, we can see hailstorms in our area. മലയാളത്തിൽ ആലിപ്പഴം എന്ന് പറയും. So the effects of hailstorms are increasing every year. This is the picture of New Delhi in the last year, where excessive hailstorm recorded. Due to this, the temperature also will be very less, and that may damage our body parts as well as the components, vehicles, buildings, everything. So it's a disaster recorded in our record book. So it's a disaster. And then comes the cloud bursts. In a particular area, due to change in pressure, there is a chance of bursting of cloud. You can see that at a local area, there is a huge fall or bursting of cloud as shown in the figure. Here, this figure shows a cloud bursting. അതായത് മേഘം പൊട്ടിത്തെറിക്കുക എന്ന് പറയുന്ന അവസ്ഥ. That is breaking of cloud. Okay. After that, we have to record another two type of things. First one is heat wave and second one is cold wave. In India, due to high temperature, because we are very nearer to equatorial line, we are facing this issue. Every year, we are losing a lot of life due to high temperature and attack of sun. Even we are having a protection layer over our earth, it's not enough to restrict the heat flow from the sun. When the heat is passing through the earth's surface, that will be carried out or fully absorbed by the earth's surface, but even though that will be reflected, and this reflected heat wave will not go outside the earth's surface, sorry, earth environment, so the temperature again and again will increase. You can see in the month of March and April, we are having or we are facing a lot of problems due to high temperature or high temperature heat wave. You can even now feel the high temperature in our environment. Okay, and ozone layer depletion also causes an increased amount of heat energy from sun to reach earth. So due to that thing, the heat surface or earth surface will get increased temperature, and that causes heat wave. And also there is a cold wave. I'm not putting any figure of cold wave, as we know that it is exactly the opposite of what we have taught now. That is heat wave. During the month of December and January, we are facing this one at the midnight that the temperature will go very low compared to our conventional temperature. That is when we are checking Kerala or everywhere, the least temperature will be around 10 degrees Celsius. But in some cases, when some cold wave occurs, the temperature may go beyond 0 degrees Celsius. That may be affected to the old people who are in that condition. We need to get escape from this cold wave, and for that we are preparing some heated, what's say, heated area. That is, we will make some kitchen like that. We will put some fire to near to us, and we will sit around there, and we will enjoy the temperature in very cold condition. That's the only way to overcome cold wave. So cold wave and heat waves are natural disasters that affecting to us. And we have snow avalanches. It's very common in northern India that very heavy snows are there in the Himalayan mountains. You can see the temperature is very low, and most of the water there will be in the form of ice. In some conditions, on some times, the snow may fall down. You have seen these kind of things in our films, and you can feel the same or experience the same in normal hot temperature climate time in Leh, Ladakh, and Uttarakhand. If you are wishing to go there, you should be very careful during these periods. Even the roads may be damaged or break down during this snow avalanches. This is a very increased or very important disaster. And I think you have heard the Amarnath temple that's in Jammu and Kashmir. There, the devotees are permitted only in single month because all other months there will be a chance of snow avalanche and the life may get lost. So the government is giving permission only for few times in the Amarnath temple entry due to this snow avalanches. And we have also facing a lot of natural disasters, especially drought. You can see the figure. What is the effect of drought? Up to now, we have discussed the important climate-related disasters or increase of water, that is flood. But here, it's a lack of water. When checking in India, most of the places in India having very less waterfalls. Due to that low waterfalls or unavailability of water or rain, the area will become dry, and the people may will be facing a heavy drought. വരൾച്ച എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. Due to that, the people may not get enough water for drinking, enough water for their regular use, etc. Is an important, very important natural disaster faced to the people in India is drought. Now we will discuss what is sea erosion. Whenever we are giving much importance to common disasters in India, sea erosion is one of the major issues. The places nearer to sea or rivers, very near to sea or rivers, the road and every land will be slide down to the sea due to the repeated tides from the sea. You can see an image of sea erosion here where the road is collapsed due to uneven tides attached to the road. When the tide reaches the road, it will take away the mud and land at this location, and this will cause a loss in land area in this place. So this land will be taken away by the sea, and this is known as sea erosion. In every coastal area in India facing same kind of problems or disasters every year. Comparing with the Western Ghats, we are facing most these kind of erosion in the eastern area of India due to the heavy cyclones or sea attacks, continuous sea attacks from the Bay of Bengal. And we have to know that what is thunder and lightning is another disaster normally recorded in India. We know that Kerala, Meghalaya, and some part of Karnataka getting regular rainfall every year. So, with that rainfall, we are having thunders and lightnings. The thunders and lightnings are not only good for rain but also giving harmful effects on the human beings and animals. We can see that every year in Kerala we are losing 100 plus lives due to thunder and lightning. This is an important disaster, and we have already known that the lighting lighting may give a megawatt electricity, as mentioned by Benjamin Bailey, is to Earth. During that, when a person who going to through the road may be affected by the lighting may cause his death. So, thunder and lightning are an important and harmful disaster in India. And also, the tsunami is also a climate effect caused in India. We can remember the tsunami in 2005, December 25th, which started from Sumatra in Indonesia, which affected a very well or a very coastal areas of India, especially Tamil Nadu, Andhra, and Andaman. In Tamil Nadu, Chennai itself, we have lost a lot of buildings, lives, and different communities due to heavy attack of tsunami. Even in Kerala, Vizhinjam or every coastal areas from Kasaragod to Trivandrum, we have faced a lot of effect due to tsunami. So the effect of tsunami, you can see a figure or it's a high tide coming from the sea due to repeated earthquake in the inside the sea. And after 2005, not yet faced such incident as we are lucky. After explaining all water and climate related disasters, the next classification comes geological related disaster. Before that, please write down all these water and climate related disasters. Please write down all water and climate related disasters. Real time, please write down. Okay, hope you have written everything. So we will go to the next slide. That geological related disasters. When we are discussing geological related disasters, there are four kinds, mainly landslides, mudflow, earthquakes, dam failures, and mine disasters. When we are discussing the first one, the landslide or mudflow, we have been experiencing the same issues in the past year in Kerala. We have lost a lot of our forest area due to landslide in Wayanad, Kannur, Idukki, and Palakkad. Due to heavy rainfall with water, the land will be slided towards the city from very high mountain. You can see a figure here. This is completely a forest area, but due to some geological issue, the land slide down, and here you can see a lot of area. Comparing with houses, this is a multi-floor house, and comparing with this one, the land slided is very large, and due to that, we have lost a lot of life. And the second one is earthquake. In India, it's different earthquake zones are there in India, and you can experience such zone in Gujarat in the last 10 years before. You can see a earthquake, Bhuj earthquake in India, which taken away a lot of life. It's an effect, and a lot of constructed buildings have been down due to this one. After that, we have started giving importance for the protection against earthquake. For that, we have made some strengthening techniques, capacity building, that is flooring isolated, vibration isolated buildings or floors while construction. And earthquakes takes away a lot of life, and the unit used to determine earthquake is Richter scale, and every time earth is trying to move, and that causes earthquake. And another thing is dam failure. You can see a dam failure here. We know that dams are produced or made by the persons or man-made thing for storing water and producing electricity or producing agricultural waters. So after making such dam, when heavy rainfall occurs, the water level increases. If we are not able to control the water flow or outlet water flow of dam, automatically after a time period, the dam will be collapsed. Even the chance of failure of dam is there if there is any equipment is not working properly, or the old dams may go down or break down. Even limited level of water is stored in the dam. It's an important disaster recorded in India. And also there are mine disasters. When we are doing mining, we are giving much force towards the air. Due to that, there is a chance of disaster. This is a geological related disaster. There are another classification, that is chemical, industrial, and nuclear related disasters. Please dot out this geological related disasters. Only four things. First one is landslide and mud flow. Second one, earthquake. Third one, dam failure or dam burst. Finally, mine disaster. Hope you have written this thing. Please try to note down when I am teaching you, because you will get time for writing all these things and you can understand easily by seeing the images. And now we will discuss in the chemical, industrial, and nuclear related disaster. The first two things can be mentioned as chemical and industrial disaster. Normally, chemicals from industries may escape from the industry due to failure in safety equipment. And you can see an image. with an industry surrounded by different chemical fumes, and this may affect surrounding, and lot of people may lose life due to this chemical and industrial disaster. In Bhopal, we have faced same kind of disaster due to that company name I have forgotten. Uh, Due to that, we have a Bhopal tragedy. We can Google it. The tragedy happened in Bhopal, as well as in the last year after Corona pandemic, we have opened a chemical industry in Visakhapatnam. Some chemicals escaped from the industry due to sudden starting. So the safety equipment didn't work as we expected, so that we have lost a lot of life, and someone may be admitted in hospital in Vishal in the last year. Is an disaster or chemical disaster, and we have some nuclear disasters in every part of world. We didn't faced any nuclear disaster in India up to now, since our nuclear plants are very less compared to other countries. Nuclear fission and nuclear fusion are very much known to us. We are getting high amount of energy in sun due to nuclear fusion. And in India or in Tarapur, Kaiga, everywhere, we are using nuclear power plants where we are using nuclear fission. So during that nuclear fission, breaking of a nuclear, we are getting a lot of energy comparing with all other energy sources. So the risk also very high compared to other disasters. So after that, please note down this one. I think you have noted this one, that is chemical, industrial, and nuclear related disasters. There are two kinds. First one is chemical, industrial, and industrial disaster, and last one is nuclear disaster. And now we will discuss some accident related disasters. There are 11 kinds of accident related disasters as in the record of India. First one is forest fire. There may be multiple reasons for forest fire. First one is due to high temperature from the sun, and some bamboo meeting, two bamboos may meeting may produce fire in the forest, or humans may cause forest fire, and due to that we are losing a lot of forest area in our India. Every year March to June we are facing such things in different parts of India, especially in Madhya Pradesh. Also, the most or largest forest area is in Madhya Pradesh. We are facing the same issue in Madhya Pradesh because the temperature is also very high in the middle part of India. And second one is urban fire. This is a man-made fire because in urban area when we are not taking much care for playing with fire, or some chemicals may be exposed to the fire, there are different chances due to negligence of human beings. There is a chance of urban fire. Even inside a house, if we are not cared well, there is a chance of gas explosion, even cause for urban fire. In different industries, they are not handling the chemicals properly, or cities in different shops, they are not handling fire properly. Maybe reason for urban fire. And also you have mine flooding. Normally it's not happening. Accidentally, when we are chance of mining towards a river or sea, may cause flood inside the mining area. This may be taken away a lot of life who is working inside the mine, and also there will be a lot of damage due to high pressure water flow inside the mine. Normally, mines are very less sized holes, or what's the caves, and the water will be flow through that cave continuously. And major issue in the seawater is oil spill. You can see that there is a ship moving in a sea, and you can see a lot of oil is spread through this river or a sea, may cause damage to the underground water as well as species living inside the sea. And this should be avoided. For that, we are using superbug as well as we are using some ship to take away these oil spills from the sea. And there are some major building collapse. We have faced the World Trade Center collapse in the in 2011, I think, and that's an example of major building collapse. Due to that, a lot of people working inside that building as well as living nearby that building may affected or lost their life due to this major building collapse. And we have serial bomb blasts in India. It's a terrorist attack. We have multiple blasts at the same time in a city, maybe ex- exclaimed as serial bomb blast. It's a man-made activity, and we can avoid this one by a proper checking in the cities by cops and other responsibles. And also we have festival-related disasters. In last 4 years, we have faced such disasters in our temples in Kerala itself. That is, I don't know that name. That Kollam, we have faced some blast. That fire blast in Kerala was an example of festival-related disaster. Also, Shabarimala, we have lost a lot of lives due to overcrowding. The people who are devotees are coming to same place at same time for a long period. They may lose their life due to heavy crowd. That's also a festival related disaster. We have, you can see a figure of the overcrowding, and due to that we have lost a lot of life. And another thing is electrical disaster and fire. Every year, somewhere in India, we are losing a life due to disaster, that's electrical disaster, shock or blast of electrical component. This may, due to different issues, may be high current, high voltage, or due to human negligence or other miscellaneous activities. This can be reduced or avoided by continuous monitoring of electrical circuit and providing voltage regulators, current regulators at all buildings. And you can feel air, road, and rail accidents. These all are common. Even in the last year in Calicut Airport, we have faced some uh, aeroplane has collapsed with a lot of people. That's an example of air accident. And we are seeing regularly road accidents that may be due to negligence of human beings as well as problem with the road. And rail accidents are so common in India because a long railway line in the world is in India. We have a rail from Jammu and Kashmir to Kanyakumari and Arunachal Pradesh to Gujarat for a long area. So, when the temperature of the rail increases or reduces, there is a chance of misalignment of railway line or negligence of the driver. Anything may cause rail accident. Similar accident in water that is known as boat capsizing. You can see Titanic has capsizing by the sea. Similarly, there is a lot of disaster in boat or boat accidents in India. And we have also village fire. which is an subclass of urban fire, but a whole village area may be affected by this fire. And we have to mention some biological related disasters that include biological disaster and epidemics, pest attacks, cattle epidemics, and food poisoning. Biological disaster, there need to no need to explain anything because we all are facing same issues nowadays. Corona or corona pandemic, COVID-19, everything is a biological disaster or epidemic. This may be due to the unawareness of people. This corona or COVID-19 pandemic happens. If the first person who is affected by COVID-19 pandemic have been isolated properly, we can reduce the impact. But now it's spread all over the world, and currently we are facing the issue with different variations of same COVID-19 pandemic. And you can have pest attacks. Our agricultural lands may be damaged with pest attacks, and cattle epidemics are another issue. That is, cattle may affected by different diseases or viral attacks. You can see a image of cattle cow, and her body is completely attacked by some virus or fungus, and it is an example of cattle epidemic. Some cases, cattle epidemic may cause death for human beings also. And another thing is food poisoning, and the foods not kept in a good quality or good condition may cause worst effect on human beings, and most of us have been experienced this food poisoning for or due to different reasons. Sometimes the food which is open to atmosphere 2 or 3 days, that may have fungal infection that causes our storm issues, as well as sometimes some food poison may cause even death. Now we will discuss two kinds of disasters. All these disasters are we have mentioned. So some disasters are classified as natural disaster and someone as man-made disasters. The natural disasters in India includes drought, flood, cyclone, heat wave, cold wave and fog, earthquake, landslide, and tsunami. All these points we have mentioned or explained well, but these are natural disasters and some man-made disasters are there. One is industrial and chemical disaster, stampede in stampede. What is that? That's very important term. Stampede in stampede. You can Google it. This is crowd. We have experienced that festival disaster. That's due to overcrowding. All crowded disasters can be expressed as steppered, stampede. So when crowding is coming, there is a chance of disaster, loss of life. And this is an important man-made disaster. And road accident, rail accident, air accident, mine disaster, and all epidemics, that's including COVID-19, are examples of man-made disasters. This for today. Please try to study all these things which are the natural disasters. There are 31 disasters in India, and we have already discussed most of them. So thank you for listening. Attendance എല്ലാവരും ഒന്ന് മാർക്ക് ചെയ്യണം. Please write down your attendance.